Hey guys, I already filmed most of this video, but I was profusely sweating, so here we are, filming it again. Alright. Also, my hair looks like straw. It's partially because I haven't brushed it in like 3 days, and we're just gonna ignore that. I honestly feel like I say this in every single story time that I've ever done, but like, I honestly never thought I would make this story time. Mainly because I don't know how many of the people that watch me are teenagers, but if you are a teenager, more than likely you're hiding something from your parents. I don't encourage that. I just acknowledge that. I'm only 23, so it wasn't like that long ago that I was a teenager, and I remember very well all the things that I hid from my parents. I also remember my mindset when I was hiding them from my parents. I would always think like, oh, okay, I'm never gonna tell them this. There's never gonna be a point in life where I can tell my parents what I'm doing right now, because it's just too bad. But that's actually not true. Like, I've told my mom pretty much, no, not pretty much, everything. I've told her everything that I ever did when I was a teenager, and it did, you know, slightly traumatize her. My father doesn't know shit. I know I'm 23, I know I live on my own, I'm still terrified. Okay. My father does watch my videos. If he's watching this right now, he's probably like starting to break a sweat, like just waiting to hear what I'm gonna say in this story, but it's pretty bad. You might want to just turn this off now, Papa. So this is a story. Is that even possible to say that sentence without going? Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. So this story happened when I was about 16, 17 years old, and that's when like I drank the most in my life. From ages like 14 to like 19, 20, those were my party years. So at 23, I just feel like, yeah, I did all that shit. I'm ready to not ever do that shit ever again. But this was when I was like 16 or 17, and I was working at Polo Ralph Lauren. If you shop there, please just don't do it. That was honestly like the worst job I had. It was like the most like abusive job. Like my bosses were horrible and everything was horrible, but it was my first job ever, so I was digging it. Now, we all know High School Jessie. If you just subscribed, you don't know High School Jessie, but let me introduce you to her. She was a fucking mess. She didn't know who she was. She didn't know what she was doing. She just knew that she liked to kiss people on the lips all the time. And like, that's still me, but like, whatever. Let me just move on. I just wanted to be accepted by everyone. So when I had this job at Polo Ralph Lauren and all my coworkers were like around my age, a little bit older, it just made me want to be accepted by them. And so I did some stupid shit to try and make them be my friends forever. I don't talk to any of them now. I don't even know if I have any of them on Facebook. That's like how distant we are at this point in time, because I add some random people on Facebook. But anyway, God, I get so off topic. So this is gonna be a little bit like morbid. Not morbid, but it's gonna sound like I'm a fucking bitch. And I honestly was. My father was sick and he got diagnosed with something that made him move to Jacksonville, Florida for 2 months for him to be treated, and then he could come back. He did that because the best doctors and the best facilities were in Jacksonville for what he had. And so I was so young, and then I was left in a house where it was 4 bedrooms, and living in it was just me and my big brother. Should I say which big brother it is? Or will this video get him in trouble? It was my big brother Izmi. I spilled the beans. Whatever, we were living in this house, and my brother Izmi was older. He was already like, I would say like 28 or 27, around there. And I had this house all to myself. And for those of you who have been watching my story times for a long time, you know that I was a fucking bitch. And when I needed money to party, I would like go on the streets and tell them that I needed money to go to states for cheerleading, which I've never been a cheerleader. People would give us money and then we would use that money to party. That sounds horrible. I know. I probably shouldn't have admitted that, but whatever. We have that relationship. I can tell you anything. So we got money and we decided that we were gonna throw parties. Me and 2 of my friends. They also worked at Polo Ralph Lauren, but I went to high school with them. They weren't people that I just met at Polo. So we had people over, and there was about 2 big parties that I threw. And I mean, not just like big parties, I mean like big parties. Like out of control. So anyway, the first party was like, it did not go well. The thing about Miami, especially when you're younger, I don't know if this happened in your town as well, but in Miami, when one person's throwing a house party, more than likely those people that were invited to that house party are gonna tell their friends, and their friends are gonna show up, and then the owner of the house is like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, I don't know, I'm just here to have a fucking good time, you know what I'm saying? It gets crazy. So the first party, all the people that I invited from Polo come over, and I remember it was just when Look at Me Now came out. I don't know if it was just when it came out, but it was like a recent song, and that was like the song of like the Polo crew. Like, that's literally what we called ourselves. It's horrible. They all get there, the main people that I invited, and I was super excited, and we started playing beer pong. I'll never fucking forget this night. Started playing beer pong, and the table just broke in the middle of us playing beer pong, and beer flew everywhere, and I was so drunk already at that point that I was like, fuck it, just leave it, who cares? And the floors were all sticky, and someone brought this gun, like, not like a, okay, that, I should probably like preface that with something. It wasn't a gun, it was like a water gun, but it was like big and plastic, and they put like tequila in it, and they were just squirting it in people's mouth. It was bad. So everyone was getting super drunk, and back then I didn't have a lot of money, and so the liquor that I bought for the party I was keeping like close eyes on because I wanted it for the party and I obviously didn't want anyone to like steal it or anything like that. And someone actually did take a bottle of Parrot Bay, I'll never fucking forget this, and I have gone around the whole fucking party screaming at everyone else like, turn off the music! Who took my bottle? Who took it? Who took it? I feel like that's how I talked when I was in high school. But that wasn't even the craziest part about that party. That party was way more mild than the second party I'm gonna tell you about. But anyway, I did notice that people that I didn't know were coming in, and I started getting like really nervous about that because I was like, oh fuck, like I don't want my neighbors to call the cops on me or anything like that. But it was fine. I figured out who had invited them and I was like, okay, it's fine. And at one point there was like 50 of us, and that was like, you know, that's a lot of people. But I was like, okay, it's no big deal, whatever. And we were all just like partying and making a shit ton of noise, and then everyone eventually just went home and nothing crazy happened. It just like ended. Before the party had started, I had a huge pile of clothes on my bed because I've always been a messy motherfucker. And I remember that I had put my wallet underneath my entire pile of clothes, and I had locked my room. Just because I was like, I don't know, random people are coming to my house, and as I was cleaning up for the people to come to my house, I had my wallet and I was like, oh shit, okay, let me just put it under all these clothes and it'll be fine. Well, the next day I was super hungover and I wanted some McDonald's or some shit like that, and I started searching under the pile of clothes and I couldn't find my wallet, and I was like, what the fuck? I started cleaning up my entire house just like after the party and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, I know I put my wallet under my clothes, so as I'm cleaning for the party, let me just start like hanging up on my clothes and then I'll eventually find my wallet. I cleaned everything and I never found my wallet, and I was like, what the fuck? Mind you, at this point I was making like $250 every 2 weeks and I was working so hard. I just wasn't making a lot of money. It was my first job, whatever. So I never found my wallet, and when I went to look at my bank statement, I saw that someone had taken my fucking debit card. Someone had spent $300 at McDonald's and Checkers combined. What the fuck? So they had spent like $150 at McDonald's and $150 at Checkers. Please tell me how that is humanly possible. Someone please tell me. I'm not even joking. Like, obviously I'm not mad about it all these years later, but like, how did they do it? Like, I wish I would have been there to like have seen it happen. So my account was like on zero at this point and I was so pissed, but you know, I was able to like file a claim and all that stuff, and I figured out that later on it was just some random people that another person at the party who was actually invited. It was actually weird because like 2 months later, a sewage worker comes knocking on my house door and was like, yeah, we found your ID in the sewer. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, did somebody steal your wallet? Because usually when people steal wallets and they're not like smart criminals, they just throw it in the sewer. We see it all the time. So I figured I'd bring back your driver's license. You know, I'm pretty sure you need it. So that was weird. And I got my driver's license back. It was a weird time in my life. But did I take that bad experience of someone coming into my household, going into my room, searching under my mess, finding my wallet and thinking, hey, this person like accepted me into their home. Like, I'm gonna steal their fucking debit card and go to McDonald's and Checkers and like have a great time. Like, did I take that and be like, oh, okay, that's it, you know, let's not do this again. I'm glad that nobody got hurt, but like, let's just take this as a negative experience and never do this again. No, that's not what I did. I decided to throw another party, but you know what? It wasn't gonna be like the last one. It was gonna be bigger. I invited so many more people to this party, and at this point I was actually dating someone that worked at Polo, and I wanted to impress him, so I invited him, and it was just this whole thing. We did the same thing. We went and we like asked people for money, and we got the money, and we bought alcohol, and we bought all the stuff that we needed to buy. And this party, you guys, oh my god, it got so out of hand. Papi, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This was so dumb. Like, let me tell you guys why this is so fucking dumb. If you're a teenager and you drink and you think it's okay that when your parents are gone, you could just have alcohol in your house, you could just do whatever. Do you know how much trouble your parents can get in? Like, do you even understand? Like, it makes me want to never have children. Like, it's so scary. I'm very sorry, Father, but this is for an entertainment purpose, so let me just continue with the story. I invited so many people over, and at one point there was over like 130 people in my house. It was completely out of hand. There were like people pouring from every like sliding glass door and door of my house. It was so fucking full. It was fun at first, but very quickly I got very drunk. At that time my tolerance was much lower, and not only that, I didn't know when to stop. I couldn't tell when I would just get tipsy or like I didn't know that line. I just fucking went tipsy and then I'm dead. But basically I had invited this guy over and I was so nervous that I just started drinking like even more because he was there and I wanted everything to go go smoothly and I wanted him to have a good time. And it was just very strange. And I vividly remember the point when I realized that shit was getting very out of hand. And my older brother came to me, because he wouldn't be like a part of the party, he would stay in his room. But he came to me and he was like, Jessie, you need to get these people the fuck out of this house because this is absolutely insane. And I agreed, but I was also so drunk that I couldn't really like form normal sentences anymore. And so I thought the best idea to get everyone out was to go and turn off the music and then hope they left. And that didn't work. So instead, what I did was I got to the front of my house. I walked from the back where the music is and I walked to the front and I said, hey, everybody shut the fuck up. And surprisingly, they actually like shut the fuck up. They just looked at me like, bitch, can we help you? I stood on top of the couch. My dad had a couch there. I stood on top so I could be above everyone, and it was just like a sea of people. It was so intense. And I just started going one by one, saying, I don't know you, get the fuck out. I don't know you, get the fuck out. I don't know you, get the fuck out. And I remember I said that to one person. They were like, no, I'm with her. And I was like, okay, you could stay. I don't know you, get the fuck out. I remember there was this one guy who started like fighting with me. He's like, you don't have to be such a bitch. And I was like, this is my house. I could be as bitchy as I want, bitch. And I just started fighting with fucking people. It was awful. But eventually everyone just like got annoyed with the fact that I was going one by one saying get the fuck out. And they all just eventually started leaving. But then they like chilled in front of my house for like 45 minutes. And I went outside. I was like, did I not tell you to get the fuck out? I mean, technically you got the fuck out, but you gotta get further. You gotta go away. And I wish that's where it ends, but the guy that I liked was still there. He was obviously one of the people that like stayed behind and like helped clean up and all that stuff. And he actually took a picture of me on the toilet because I was, you know, about to throw up. And the way that I work, even now, not just high school Jessie, but like even now, if I need to throw up when I'm drunk, I will throw up the entire night. It's very unfortunate, but I don't like to throw up. Like I never throw up unless I'm drunk or like have food poisoning or something. But when I actually do end up throwing up, I just have to sleep on the toilet. Like my friends all know this by now. I say, don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Just leave me here to die on this toilet. Goodbye. So the guy that I liked like went into the bathroom and saw me and he took a picture. He actually ended up sending it to me the next day and it was fucking so embarrassing. Like I was just pale and on the toilet looking at him like, ugh. And I told him, you need to leave. I'm sorry. I really like you and that's why I don't want you to see me like this. And then he eventually just left and didn't work out with us. But anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys like this story time. I have a ton of stories of like crazy drunk high school Jessie moments, and if you want to hear about them, let me know. Please subscribe to my channel. I put on new videos every Tuesday and Saturday, and I will see you on Tuesday. Why did I do that? All right. Bye. I'm remembering the conversation that me and my ex were having now, and I said some pretty dramatic shit. Like I said, like, I get it. You have a girlfriend. Like, I don't have that. Like, I don't have someone. And as I'm on my phone, a man just comes up to me and goes, hello. And I just said, hi.